A good friend, our very own Patrick McEnroe, who joins us now live from the U.S. Open. Patrick, how shocking was that?
Well, Michael, I think it was, you got to look back at Buster Douglas over Mike Tyson. If you're talking about team sports, the Giants beating the undefeated Pats, miracle on ice. I think it's right up there with that because Serena has been so good, obviously, this year, all year. But when she gets to crunch time in the semis and the finals, she's historically been almost unbeatable. You've got Vinci at 32, who's had a solid career, but she hasn't been a big time player. This is the first time she's gotten this far in a major. But I'll tell you what, she beat Serena. So you could say Serena, was a little bit tight. Her movement wasn't great, but this girl this woman, I should say, in the final set, was down a break early and she battled back. Her energy was incredible. She looked up to the crowd at one point. I don't know if you saw the highlight after one amazing point and literally said, hey, how about me? What about some love for me? Because obviously the New York crowd has been pulling for Serena. So a huge, monumental upset.
And I was talking about it earlier, Patrick, when you take a look at Kentucky, when you take a look at the New England Patriots trying to get those undefeated seasons, they weren't just playing the team that was on the court or the field, they were also playing history. Do you think that played into it, that the pressure of the moment of not just beating Roberta, but also going out there and making history was just too much to overcome?
There's no doubt about it. I think the pressure is building, and, Serena tried to put it off, which was the right thing to do by saying, listen, I've won 4 in a row, which is true. Starting last year at the Open, I've won Wimbledon. She said that was a lot of pressure. But here's the fact, Donnie. She had a lot of matches that went the distance. And so when you flirt with fire time and time again, whether you're a team or whether you're maybe even more so as an individual, it's almost like you're setting yourself up for I'm not going to be able to dig out of every jam. Great a competitor as Serena Williams is, and I think that all caught up to her today.
You hate to use the word choke, so I'm not even going to say that. But did the enormity of the moment maybe take her down a notch, kind of piggybacking on what Don asked? Because I'm watching on TV, and, points I said, well, Serena's going to win this, because she just doesn't lose. I think her mother also said that maybe this got to her. Somebody who's that great, that's had that many majors, that's had so many great things in their life, why would this moment get her?
Well, this is history of a different proportion. Steffi Graf is the last female player to do it back in '88. There hasn't been a male player to do it since 1969 and the great Rocket Rod Laver. So when you put all that on the table, I think you're both you guys are right. It's the reason Serena wasn't just playing Roberta Vinci today. She was playing that type of history. And again, there's players that have pushed her. It's not like she's been going out and winning every match 6-2, 6-1, 6-1, 6-2. That hasn't been happening. There's been a lot of matches that have been close, that she's had to come from behind. And, the law of averages says that if you flirt with disaster and you put yourself in those positions, you're going to get a bad break. You know what? Someone's going to hit a saw off. Their bat's going to break. Mariano, remember pitching against Arizona. There's things that can happen if you put yourself in that position too many times, and I think that's what happened, and I think the moment and certainly the pressure had to be part of it. There's no doubt about it, but I think you also have to tip your hat to Vinci, who, went out there and in my feeling, really took it from Serena in that last set.
Is this a rare run for her, or is this some kind of sustainability that Vinci can now be someone not just to win this tournament, but move on and become a recognizable player?
I would be surprised if that happens. Obviously for both, Flavia Pennetta as well. This is her first, an all-Italian final. So I think Vinci was about 300 to 1 to win the tournament, and I think Pennetta was 150 to 1 before the tournament started. So they'll be celebrating in Italy. They'll be loving this. It's obviously going to be, not the same buzz for us and for the U.S. Open in general, but both these ladies earned their spot. Are they going to be multiple Grand Slam winners in the future? I wouldn't bet on it, but it's certainly an amazing moment for them. And, you got two women, one's 32 and one's 33, playing in the U.S. Open final tomorrow.
Patrick, real quick, I know you got to go, but as a competitor, does it hurt even more that you lose to an unseeded, unfamiliar player rather than somebody that's great?
That's a great question, Donnie. I think Serena's press conference lasted 3 minutes and 47 seconds. She was out of there so fast. She was in the car, off-site within a half an hour of the match ending. So obviously she's devastated. I don't think maybe if she lost to her sister, Venus, she wouldn't have been. I mean, she would have been hurt, but obviously that's her sister. There's really no other really all-time greats at the moment in women's tennis. You got Sharapova, who didn't even play here. Other than that, there's no really other. There's Victoria Azarenka, but I think the short answer to your question is no, because if Serena was playing against a lot more than any opponent that she could currently face. She was playing against history.
I know you're super busy. Go do what you have to do. Thanks for popping on with us. We really do appreciate it.
Anytime, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Patrick.